Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ten, and today we're going to inoculate our seed spawn. The first thing that you want to do is you want to set up some sort of clean room or a still air chamber, or if you have the money and space, the best thing definitely would be a laminar flow hood, but those are generally pretty expensive and pretty bulky. So if you don't have money for a laminar flow hood, I highly recommend getting one of these cheap, small, still air chambers that you could buy on Amazon. Mine is just a small pop-up one. It's not ideal, but it gets the job done. The first thing, after you have all your tools inside of your still air chamber, you want to spray everything down with rubbing alcohol, your hands, your tools, the rubbing alcohol itself, the surfaces, everything that can possibly be contaminated needs to be sprayed down and wiped down. Otherwise, you risk getting contamination. And lo and behold, somewhere along the line, a spore or a piece of dust got onto something and got into one of the jars, because one of the jars ended up getting contaminated, and here's what it looks like. See, check out this jar. You could see all the weird, crusty kind of growth that does not look like mycelium. This is exactly what you don't want to see. And if anything starts growing on there that looks funky like this, throw it out. The mycelium is supposed to look nice and white and kind of look like brushed hair like this, not weird, crusty, funky stuff like the stuff on top. Alright, time to get back to the inoculation. You want to make sure you wipe down the bags, you want to make sure you wipe down any injection ports, you want to make sure to wipe down the syringes, everything needs to get wiped down, at least lightly, with the rubbing alcohol. Now it's time to prep the syringe. What you want to do, spray it down with rubbing alcohol, just like everything else. Make sure to wipe it down, and then it depends on the place where you get your spores or your liquid culture. I got mine from Sporeworks, and the way they ship it is they have the spores or liquid culture inside of the syringe, and then in an individual package they have a sterile needle. And what you do is you open up the packaging, screw on the brand new sterile needle, and it's ready to be used. You don't have to heat sterilize it or anything, at least for the first time that you use it. Now that you have your syringe ready to go with your liquid culture, what I normally do is I'll take some rubbing alcohol squares and place them on top of where I'm going to be injecting. Stick it in, squirt out as much liquid as you need, and go as quick as you can from one container to the next and close it up. Now, as you can see, I didn't use all of the liquid culture. I still saved some in the syringe. What I could do now is I could either grow more liquid culture from that small amount, or I could just save it in the refrigerator for later use. Now I make sure to put a little piece of micropore tape on there, because there is the little hole from the syringe, while on the bags there is a self-healing port, and it will close up by itself. On the jars there isn't a self-healing port, so I have to close it up somehow, otherwise it's gonna get contaminated. Now we just repeat the same exact process for the second jar and second bag. The first one was the blue oyster, the second one is the lion's mane. After you're done inoculating your grain, make sure everything is labeled so you don't mix up your bags and your jars, and it's ready to go into a dark, warm area of your house for about 2 to 6 weeks until the jar is fully colonized. Then we move on to the substrate. So until next time, friends, happy growing and keep on experimenting.